In the last 50 years, a surge of reproductive technology has revolutionized the practice of obstetrics and gynecology. First, effective hormonal contraceptives were made available to the public in the 1960s, and since their debut, have been used to treat almost every gynecologic abnormality. Second, in the past 30 years, infertility has largely been managed using assisted reproductive technologies, primarily intrauterine insemination, IUI, with recourse to in vitro fertilization, IVF, when insemination fails. As a result, the new norm in mainstream gynecology has been to suppress or to bypass a woman's fertility cycle. Experiencing infertility is a painful and often isolating experience. There is profound suffering involved, and women across the UK and beyond are being told that IVF is their only option. Yet there is a different approach, such as NFP. I understand not all physical suffering can be fixed in this world. However, from a woman's health literacy perspective, it's vital for every woman to know about their hormonal health. In a world where we are seeing birth rates declining, it's more important than ever that women have access to information regarding their hormonal health, and above all, learn that there are alternatives to consuming large doses of chemicals and pharmaceuticals. I'm Catherine Mokler, and this is Viewpoint. Physicians and patients who firstly conscientiously object to therapeutic use of hormonal contraceptions on the grounds that it subjects patients to ineffective treatment of symptoms rather than treating their underlying disease, and secondly, morally oppose the assisted reproductive technologies approach to infertility, are now able to pursue an alternative approach that accords with their consciences. Restorative reproductive medicine is leading the way with Napro Technology. Based on over 30 years of research and practical application, Napro Technology, which is natural procreative technology, is a women's health science which has its main principle the ability to work cooperatively with the woman's menstrual and fertility cycle. Napro Technology relies on the Creighton Model Fertility Care System, CRMS, using biomarkers to monitor easily and objectively the occurrence of various hormonal events during the menstrual cycle. Learning to chart a woman's cycles using NFP is a useful starting point to understanding what is going on inside a woman's body. Many gynecological and hormonal issues can be diagnosed from analysing a chart. For those with irregular cycles, knowing when the fertile window is can be crucial in timing intercourse to maximise the chances of conception. Lots of young women with endometriosis are being told that they have unexplained infertility. Napro approaches find the underlying cause of infertility and use treatments that optimise the couple's natural fertility. The techniques result in pregnancy rates which are higher than that with IVF treatment, and the pregnancies themselves have better outcomes, for example, lower rates of preterm deliveries, low birth weight, and multiple births. CRMS provides valid information that can be interpreted by a woman and by physicians who are specifically trained in the system. Napro Technology is the first women's health science to network family planning with reproductive health monitoring and gynecological health maintenance, unlike common artificial and suppressive approaches. This is a fertility care-based medical approach rather than a fertility control approach that provides medical and surgical treatments. Napro Technology identifies the problems and cooperates with the menstrual and fertility cycles that correct the condition, maintain the human ecology, and sustain a woman's procreative potential. It has many applications, including family planning, the evaluation and treatment of infertility and other reproductive disorders, abnormal bleeding, abnormal hormone conditions of the menstrual cycle, including premenstrual syndrome and recurrent ovarian cysts, the dating and beginning of pregnancy, and postpartum depression. In stark contrast, IVF leaves the underlying root or roots of the woman's infertility untreated, or at best rarely treated. Hence, after a round of IVF, a woman is still infertile. The root of her infertility has not been addressed at all, or only unsuccessfully addressed. IVF leapfrogs over the cause or causes of infertility, requiring the woman who wants a second try at pregnancy or a second pregnancy to subsequently return to IVF, at great financial cost to patients and financial gain to providers. Additionally, any reproductive technology, such as IVF, that fails to respect the dignity of the baby being conceived by threatening the child's right to life, cryopreserving the child, or exposing the embryonic human being to further objectification via research, tyrannically deprives the newly conceived human being of his or her just right to be conceived, gestated, born into, and raised within the marital love of his or her parents. Many women believe that they need birth control to treat things like endometriosis. However, with Napro Technology, it shines a different light and offers different solutions. Ironically, in an age when organic and natural products and treatments are prized by women and marketing campaigns, highlighting how natural and pure their products are, from cosmetics to nutrition supplements and even drinks, it is bizarre that a preference for pure, natural or organic choices in so many areas is completely abandoned by most women when it comes to fertility products. When controlling fertility, women seem happy to consume huge doses of synthetic and artificial chemicals and pharmaceutical products which are far from pure, natural or organic. It's strange that fears of side effects, complications and the consumption of utterly unnatural products doesn't matter when it comes to fertility, even among women who go out of their way to eat only the healthiest food and drink only expensive bottled water. NFP takes the same approach. It keeps things natural and avoids anything artificial. It is a method where womanhood and femininity aren't suppressed. It's nice to know that other options exist, as in nurturing her body and bringing it to its healthiest state, readying it for a healthy pregnancy, so that the woman and her husband, based on their circumstances of their marriage and guided by their intelligent knowledge of their phases of fertility, can either limit births, space their children for serious reasons, or more readily achieve pregnancies according to their wishes for a large family. The cost of NFP is almost significantly lower than IVF. IVF patients need to do yet another round of IVF at 100% of the original fee. If they fail to achieve a pregnancy in cycle 1 or in an earlier cycle, the costs can very quickly mount up. While many infertile Napro patients will, after their first Napro baby, go on and conceive more children without further clinical intervention or expense. Those who try the Napro approach and still can't conceive do at least know that they are still in optimal reproductive health. With continued use of charting, women will be in touch with their body and their fertility in a totally healthy way. In an era where all things natural and organic are prized, isn't it time we ditched the chemicals and took the same approach to our own fertility?